Hello, everybody. I normally don't sound like the Godfather, but today I do. Or I sound like a smoking woman named Brenda at a bar in the middle of some crazy town. But I don't smoke, but I do have bronchitis and I'm on 1 hour of sleep. So I told Savita I did not want to cancel because I've already had to cancel so much. I've had this for like 3 weeks now. I just have like a crappy immune system in general. So yeah, we're just going to hang out as long as we can. Um, but tonight we wanted to kind of talk about raising your vibration. And oh, sorry. First of all, tonight I have Savita the Starseed, and I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat and anybody listening now or later in another dimension, whatever. Welcome to Quantum Witch Cafe. And that's not my normal. You guys know
Welcome.
that's not my normal spiel. I'm just like super yucky right now. But yes, tonight we have Savita, who has her own channel, and she does a lot of galactic history and also kind of helping out star seeds find their place in the world, I guess, in this world. So, what we're going to do tonight is talk about raising your vibration with different types of modalities. So, Savita,
Yes, ma'am.
what do you want to talk about first? What is kind of a lot of people want to make contact. They want to make contact with non-human intelligences or their spirit guides,
Yes.
and or sometimes those are non-human intelligence, the spirit guides. So where does one start? What if you had somebody come to you saying, hey, this is my first time trying to meditate and make contact, what would you tell them?
Well, thank goodness I can actually answer this one because it took me a little bit to figure it out. Everybody's different, in my opinion, on how they find their best way to make contact. But before I go ahead and further on to answer the question, thank you for having me back on. It's been great to be back on after such a long period of time of lives and meeting other people and learning so many interesting things. And we all need to send positive healing waves over to Pricilla so she could feel better, guys. Poor thing.
And a church fan, like one of those little fancy church fan for
One of
fever, like
those. But hello, everybody in the chat. It's good to see everybody. So in my opinion, I don't think everybody has to follow the exact same way to make contact. Everyone's different with whatever they feel is the best method or methods for them. For me personally, and you've known this from the first time we were talking, that I have a scatterbrain still, I guess, since college, or like ADHD, whatever people want to call it. So it's hard for me to stop that mind from going and going and going. So for me, meditating has been a little bit of a task to try and hone in and calm and, try to make contact. But for others, if you can meditate, cool, that's step one. What I definitely recommend, in my opinion, is sound, using sound. And I was listening or watching you and Lily's recent interview or podcast. And I thought, oh, that's funny because I learned to do the same thing. Lily mentioned using the crown chakra at 963 hertz. I guess with me seeing red everywhere, a lot of people have known me for seeing red everywhere. You and I talked about that the first time I was on here. I have been using the root chakra for
Perfect.
396 hertz. So if you have a smartphone, which most of us do by now, and especially if you have an iPhone, hopefully it's on the Android as well, I do use frequency apps that actually allow you to adjust the different hertz levels. But I have two. The main one I like to use, I'm gonna butcher the name, but it's the name of the name of the chakras, where it's like solfeggio. I'm gonna
Yep.
butcher it.
Solfeggio. Yep.
Solfeggio. Yeah, it's called Solfeggio frequencies, and it's purple. I'm probably gonna ruin my camera focus, but it kind of looks like that in like the Apple store or iPhone store. The other one I use is sonic frequency. Way when I'll open the chakra one, it literally, and hopefully people will be able to hear this. It actually has all the chakras. Like Close Encounters of the Third
And
Kind
it's fun.
stuff. It is fun. But the reason why I use two at the same time is so when I'm able to make contact, and I don't know why, but this is just for me. I definitely recommend using frequency apps, is what I'm trying to get at here. If you have two playing at once and you're able to adjust the frequencies, you see how it's like oscillating? It's because I have both of them now playing at 396 hertz. You don't have to have two. That's just for me because I think it's weird to just hear one. Because for me, I need a little bit of a beat.
Yeah, there's the
But
pure tone, but even on
yeah,
YouTube, guys, there's playlists where it's like 10-minute full solfeggio meditation, and it has those frequencies in the background with like spa meditation music or whatever you want to call it, instrumental.
yes,
So you can kind of
so
listen to it for
nice.
10 minutes. But yeah,
Yes,
there's so many different types. So that's the the pure tone that she's playing.
yes, pure tones. Yes, exactly. There's so different types of those videos on YouTube. But for me in particular, I couldn't really focus on the sound. I was focusing more on like uh, the ethereal or spa aspect. And don't get me wrong, I
Right.
love that kind of music. But it took me a while to understand I needed to listen to pure tone. And I'm sure some of you have seen the UFO video that I've posted on the full moon of April 16th, 2022. You would hear the root frequency in the background that I was just playing. So if anybody wants to make contact, it doesn't matter if you're out in the day or night. Of course, nighttime might be more helpful because there's not a lot more people around when you go outside and the stars are beautiful. But you can go out there and try and clear your mind the best you can. Or if you play the frequency, you can focus on the tones. And especially if you get the oscillating pure tone, that definitely, for me at least, helps distract me. And it was a huge success given the video that I was able to post. But even at the end of the day, the footage isn't as good as what you obtain. I don't know how to freaking post it and get it in the best quality possible. But it was absolutely beautiful. It was just breathtaking. I've never seen anything like this. And it was nice to be able to share that experience with my boyfriend. And even he's starting to be like, okay, these frequencies sound pretty nice. I'm like, yeah, right?
A lot
They're
of people
pretty
will
cool.
sleep with them on, you know.
Yeah.
Here's like the misconception, guys, that I've run into because I've taught chakra classes and meditation classes like before COVID. That was kind of like what I was doing for my little business that my partner and I had, my friend and I had. People automatically want to jump right into their crown chakra. But the problem is, if you don't have that grounding wire of your root chakra, it's just going to get clogged in whatever chakra that is not balanced. And if
Mhm.
it's your first time, you might have all these, energetic things that you have to work out. But the quickest way to do it is to go outside and ground or listen to a grounding frequency
Yes.
because then the energy has somewhere to flow. It's almost like if I poured if this and I kept pouring and pouring and pouring, it would overflow because it's flat on the bottom. But if it's a tube, going right into the ground or right into whatever, it's going to flow. The water is going to flow through, and energy is the same way. And
Yeah.
that's why in almost every meditation, you're going to hear that earth and sky thing happening. Like first, you're going to picture your roots, and then you're going to bring in the sky. So,
That I like that water bottle reference actually. That helps me for when I'm going to try and
well,
ground
well,
more.
you
That's
have
a
a
good
you
method.
have a central column called the sushumna that anchors your chakras into place.
Yeah, you said it was like a
So,
beads on a string.
yeah, it anchors them, and you can change that size of that. And some people's are real thin, and some people like it that way. They
Yeah.
don't want all the sensory stuff that comes with having everything open. But yeah, it's there, and if it's blocked, and if you're not grounding, then it's like it's just like electricity if you think about it.
Yeah.
What happens without the grounding water wire? Shit
Yeah.
just goes everywhere. So
Like a
it's the
fire
same
hose.
way with universal information.
Yeah, exactly. I do like that simile metaphor. because I'm bad with
So
words.
let's get right into the fun stuff. So you got a new toy
I
because
did.
I need a coughing break. So why don't you show off your new toy and talk about it?
Okay. Go ahead and cough. Poor Priscilla, everybody. We need to help her feel better. Hopefully this helps. Okay, so I did get a new toy, everybody. Hello, Justin and Cindy, Paranormal Pixie, Laura. I think I saw Steph in here too. I wanted to say hi to everybody. Yes, hello, and Laura. Anyway, so I did get a new toy. She was expensive. So if some of you know Lily Nova, she's definitely been one of the great influencers or creators with her UFO and CE5 contacts. And she does live meditations on Sundays. And when her first live occurred, she had this beautiful singing bowl. And I kept telling myself for a while, like, I need a legit singing bowl. Because I had a brass one, but it was like it could just fit in the palm of my hand, and it was hard to make sound because it was tarnishing and everything. So it's like, this isn't working. I need a real singing bowl. So you guys can kind of get the idea of where I'm going with this. So I was messaging her and I was like, hey, so where do you get your bowls? And I asked in her chat too, and she said solosoaring.com. The woman that runs this website is named Terry, and she's super sweet. She lets you, she helps you figure out what kind you want with a Zoom call. She lets you look at the bowls, she plays some music, and she helps you figure out what bowl is calling to you. And she said, and I'm not usually the bougie type, but my bougie ass picked the most expensive one. But it is a Lemurian seed grandmother base bowl. It is gigantic. It still has the tags on it. I'm afraid to peel it off because I don't want that sticky residue on it. And I'm trying to show everything very carefully. So it's huge, and I mean huge, but it's beautiful. So she gives you the bowl, a little rubber bottom piece so it can sit on hard surfaces without scratching, and as well as a big case so it doesn't break. And of course, the wand that comes with it. So Terry told me that this specific bowl made out of Lemurian seed, and I love Lemurian seeds. I might have had a past life or an association with Lemuria before being Savita. But she said that this specific bowl helps with the throat chakra because it's a G note. It's 9 inches in diameter, and it's freaking gorgeous. So you might see, let me focus on there. There we go. Isn't it cute? It's like pure glass. Even me talking to it, I could, ha. It's like making, okay, anyways, vibration. Talking to it, I can hear it. Oh, that's funny. I doubt that the microphone's picking it up. So hopefully it's not too loud, but I'll go ahead and give it a whirl real quick. Yeah, it is a big bowl. It's gigantic, but I wanted one. Oh, I love it. It's huge.
And I'm sure it feels great too
Oh,
because
yes,
I've
it
played them
does.
before and they're just the crystal ones just really like have this resonance that goes throughout you.
It really does. Like, just even holding it, it just makes you feel so powerful, like energetically, like in a good way. And hopefully this could help at night. I wanted to see if I could try and start maybe like a neighborhood. I don't want to say meditation or CE5 because that might scare people, but get some people together, locally, and see if this bowl can be of assistance. But Terry has all kinds of sizes, all kinds of notes made of many different materials. The price range is insane. Like, this is most expensive, and they could be cheaper, of course, but I would definitely recommend to get one if you're able to. She was very flexible with payment plans. I didn't do it all at
Oh, wow.
once. So I paid her, a certain amount every paycheck I got. And then she shipped it. And I'm like,
That's
yeah.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous and it
It
sounds
does keep
great.
going. Yeah. Oh, like I'm shaking because I'm getting chills in my body, like in a good way.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was telling her I really want one, but we move so much with the military that I'm like afraid to get one
Well, it
because
does come with these, like, you have to get the case. Like, it's not optional because that's what it ships in. And
oh, okay.
it's a
Yeah.
very protective case. It's got really comfy cushion on
Oh,
the
wow,
inside.
it's really thick.
So as long as, like, I doubt you're gonna throw it in a U-Haul. Like, keep it in your passenger
No,
seat
no
on the
way,
floor
no.
or something,
I'm
You
weird
got it,
about
you
my
should get
stuff.
one.
Yeah, I have like a big amethyst, a cathedral, and it's gonna come in the car with me. My husband thinks I'm joking. It's not gonna get back.
Yeah, you gotta be very careful. Um, oh my God, I haven't disclosed the
It's
price
I would
to
never leave the
anybody.
house.
Yeah.
You have to email the lady Laura or DM her because
Yeah, it's let's just say that they can be under 1,000 to about with the case and shipping. So,
yeah, but if you're gonna get it's not something that you're gonna buy all the time. It's like you're gonna buy one or maybe 5
I know,
throughout your
literally.
life. Well, because there's some that are tuned to, like, specific they're each a different note. So I know people that will collect them,
Oh
like,
yeah.
every other year they'll get one or every anniversary they'll get one. Is this, like so I'm like so it does it have, like, a frosting around it?
I think so. That's the thing. I wanted to ask her what everything is like what, yeah, what this frosting aspect
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
the
it's
glass, like
pretty.
where's the Lemurian seed, quote unquote, because I'm like, is it the whole bowl and they carved it out? Like, where does the base come from? Were these multiple types of crystals and they fused them together? But yeah, she said that this was a frequency that helps recall Lemurian past lives too. I'm just like, oh,
Nice.
interesting. And I closed my eyes on this Zoom call, and she's like, "Oh, you picked the most expensive one." I'm like, Of course, great, because I usually don't do that kind of stuff. So I figured, you know what? I graduated. I got a career going.
Oh,
Got a
it's definitely a
place.
graduation present.
Spoil yourself. Definitely get one, guys.
Definitely. Thank you, just did that. He says that he saw oh, Shane. Shane, thank you, Shane, for tuning in. I saw your
Mhm.
comment earlier. That's kind of a long discussion. He had a situation with, saying, "This one time I died and my body was completely destroyed, and I woke up with an out of body in this room, and this lady informs me not to worry and that they were preparing me a new body." And he's still here. So, and he says, "Has anybody ever had this happen to them?" So out of body experiences. I'm wondering if there's support groups for stuff like that because I had an out of body experience, but it was kind of not it wasn't, um, something I can talk about, openly right now, because of the nature of how it happened. But yeah, I mean, that people have experiences like that all the time. There's a female on TikTok actually that was in a really bad, I think, car accident, and the car was just trashed, and she escaped without one scratch, but feeling like almost like an imposter. Like she felt like she hopped timelines or something. And I was talking to her, I was talking to my friend about this channel because she was asking me about it. And she there's this thing called a walk-in spirit. So it's called a spiritual walk-in. So if somebody's about to die and for whatever reason they want to forfeit their spot on earth, basically, they can ask, or their higher self can ask for a spirit to step in. But in this case, it's like her whole body just shifted because she had no scratches. And this car accident was just atrocious, I guess. So out of body experiences are crazy. People have them sometimes when they get, like, I knew a lady that had one when she got the news that her fiance died. She had an out of body experience. So it's just nuts. Like, it's crazy how we can take these energetic hits and it'll just knock us out of our body. Uh-oh, Savi, are you frozen? I think she froze. All right, so she froze. Yeah, and also, Shane, if you're looking for people to talk about more stuff like that, check out Experiencer Group, because they have different types of the Experiencer Group is not just for ET experiencers, it's for all sorts of experiences. So check out J. Christopher King's group, Experiencer Group.
Interesting. I never heard about a story like that to where people felt, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it at all that they felt that they're in a completely new body, new person, or wow. Well, I'm glad that that the girl that you were talking about before I buffered, sorry, I don't know what happened there. I'm glad that she was able to get out of her car wreck in one piece.
Wow, she's really paying attention to what I'm saying because you were just frozen.
She like, definitely had angels.
I've never seen her this still before. But yeah. But I mean, she doesn't feel like her life is hers, though. Isn't that crazy? Like, can you imagine waking up, like, in my body as a spirit, and all of a sudden you've got kids and, like, you know,
literally
all this
Freaky
stuff.
Friday. We got Jamie Lee Curtis up in here.
Like.
Oh wow! Even just
all right. So we have people talking about the bulls, and people are like, "Oh my goodness, I can't afford them." There are cost-efficient routes, guys.
There are
durable routes.
She does not expect you to pay it all at once. I'm just telling you that. She will work with you, but she will not send it until it is paid completely.
That's smart, though.
Very assuring. Yeah, because these are expensive, and God forbid somebody just runs off with
right. So if you're worried about, you know, if you want sound therapy or tools like that, and you have little kids like me and you're worried about things breaking, or you're worried about moving with it, there's also brass ones that are tuned to specific chakras.
Yes.
And obviously it's going to have more of like a brass sound. So they're still nice in their own way, you know? And my little boys love these. They can play them. So, and you can get them like in the different, that's the crown chakra, but there's heart in the, ooh, it's green, guys. So it's like,
I was about to say, wait, is it maroon?
I forgot about that. The heart chakra one's
awesome.
It's green, so you can only see like the Tibetan prayer on the sides.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, anyways, yeah. So there are other routes you can go. You can get tuning forks, and all sorts of stuff like that. Drums work, rattles, even
the apps help. Like even just those simple apps, just playing the pure tones online, or because I'm sure you can find chakra frequencies on an app, regardless of what kind of phone you have.
Yes, so absolutely.
Ways, but
oh my god, yeah. Trust me, if I mean, my anniversary is coming up. I might be able to. He's gonna be like, "We're moving."
Be like,
maybe for next year.
My anniversary gift, please. Just give him the puppy eyes or the Puss in Boots eyes, like just.
Oh my gosh, you don't know, when you're married, that leads to all sorts of things. They expect you to fulfill your cuteness, consummating the marriage.
Yeah.
I gotta do like wife things, so I'm like, you gotta be careful with that when you're living with somebody. It's easier when you're dating because you can get what you want and like leave, but when you're living with somebody and you're making the little cute eyes, they're like, okay, you can have your toy, but I'm gonna expect you to be loving to me.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
If you're a cat person like me, you know, you only want to love when you feel like it. So
that's funny. So how many bulls do you have? So you have the crown, the heart.
Crown, heart, and solar plexus.
Ooh.
And I have a moon one. That's like its own little thing. It's super tiny, but it has the moon phases on it. And then I just had like the little one like you had for a while, and I gave it to my son. So, and then for tuning forks, I have sacral and third eye. And then, so I'm basically just missing some sort of root instrument.
Yeah, I was going to say, all of them.
Yeah, if I lay them out, yeah. But the root, I use a drum for the root because to me, there's nothing more grounding than like that drum beat that you would hear, like almost like a ritual type of drumming. So yeah, I use that, but I do want another one. The 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 tuning forks are nice because you can take them everywhere.
Yeah.
But you know, they also don't last as long. You can't play them like the bowls for as long.
Yeah. I was honestly surprised how long this one just like with like just and it will just keep going for like a solid minute and a half. And I was like, whoa, okay. I didn't expect it to just keep going because,
Yeah,
you know, we're used to like the smaller ones. So since they don't have such a deeper, I guess, length, that they're
right.
not able to carry out the frequency for as long. Because, you know, it vibrates down and comes back up and that's pretty much how it works. So when it's just like, but this, it just vibrates down and
Yeah, yeah, and then the crystal really makes it. Tribal drumming. Yes, yes, Justin. Tribal style drumming. Um, people, you know, like it's very earthy. Like, you know, my dad's Native American, so I to me it's that kind of drumming.
yeah.
But I don't want to say like generalized powwow drumming because that's also different. Because
Yeah.
you know, I don't need everybody coming after me, but
No.
it's that drum beat that is almost like it is an earth instrument. It's a, you know, it's if you're doing like shamanic journey or spiritual journeys or guided meditations, like the drum is what people use to get them to that place and build that liminal space around them, just like you're using the bowl.
Mhm.
So, but for me, like the drum is just so earthy and grounding. So
It is.
you could even find playlists about that with that on there because I found one on YouTube that was like all drumming. And if you listen to it, you can really kind of like get into a trance.
Soon you'll start dancing around an imaginary campfire.
Exactly.
That reminds me of if you've seen The Proposal
Oh, maybe a
with
while.
Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds.
I'm I'm probably the only female that's going to say this, but Ryan Reynolds gets on my nerves. His face. It's something about his face.
His
He always looks like he's got this stupid smirk on his face.
face.
Like maybe he's just too pretty for me.
He's just
But he gets on my nerves. I know it's horrible. My husband's like, "What?" Because he
no.
loves my husband's like the chick flick person in the relationship, and
Oh,
he
that's funny.
loves some Sandra Bullock. So I'm sure if I was like, "Let's watch it," he'd be like, but then he's like, "Oh, well, it has your favorite guy in it. You're not going to want to watch it."
Oh, that's funny. He's a chick flick person.
Now you're not going to be able to unsee his smirk because I told you about it.
Man.
He's a dude. Yep, yeah. Believe it or not, like are you talking about my husband? Yeah, he likes chick flicks. He's all about he's like, well, you know how it is, guys. Like you don't have to be just because you're a man. You don't have to be like super masculine. Like he's in the army. He's manly, but he's definitely more like sentimental than me. If that makes any sense. Um, you know, he's like he's a Pisces. I don't know how to I don't know how to put it. He's a Pisces and I'm an Aquarius, so um, you know.
That's funny that you say that because I was like, yeah, my partner can be a bit of a bit more of the feminine, sentimental type, but he's also a Pisces.
Yeah, see, like the Pisces. Like my husband is like my husband's done all sorts of crazy army trainings and stuff. But I mean with me and the family, he's more sentimental and he's always just like, can't you just be more, you know? I'm not romantic. I'm not. I feel bad for him sometimes. You know what though? I could a Deadpool, so I could stand Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool,
Deadpool was cool.
but I'm also like a little bit of a nerd, so yeah.
We all got our nerdy side. It's okay. But it's good to have the sentimental people in the relationship.
Yeah, you need
I'm
it.
like you. Same way. Like I can be romantic. I can plan great birthday stuff, but other than that, I'm like
Oh yeah, I totally. He's always like, "You look like one of those mail order brides that you see on TV when like the guy that bought them's trying to like kiss them and they're like cringing away." I'm like,
But yeah, it's like,
and
come
it's not
here.
that I'm not attracted. It's not that I just don't. I'm just not a touchy feely person. Like I'm a cat, guys. That's the only way I could say is I'm a cat. Like when I want attention, I want it, but when I'm done, I'm done. Like if you put my belly too long, I'm gonna bite you. So, I'm sorry, guys. This is not a normal show. I did just kind of want to hang out with Savita tonight, anyways, and I need.
Basically,
So this is not structured. It wasn't meant to be. Tomorrow we'll have the structured book club day. But yeah, we just wanted to have fun tonight. I told
and
her I'm gonna
just
bring
kick it back.
my
Yeah.
experiencer cards and my Martian cards. Oh, see, they're green too. How funny
Ooh,
is
I
that?
was gonna say.
See through.
Ooh, when did you get those? Show them off.
I got them. Amy got them first, and then I was like seeing her pull them every day, and then I was like, I need them. They have a lot of green though, so I don't know how. Like with my green
We're not gonna
screen.
see them. Oh Jesus.
Ooh,
Oh,
only the
that's
gray, guys.
cool. Ooh.
I think it's cool. It looks you could
That
actually
is
see through it.
cool.
It's like
We
a
can't even
wormhole.
see you. That's the funny part.
Yeah, these ones have a lot of green. This one doesn't have as much, but you're gonna be able
No,
to see the eye.
Justin, you don't need to leave for a small girls chat. Everyone's welcome here. It's okay. Oh, speaking of Pisces.
Why is Justin a Pisces?
Oh no, the
Oh,
card.
oh yeah, the Vega Pisces.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, huh, Justin?
Everyone's welcome here. No worries. I'll let that ring. I don't want to kill everybody's ears, but it is so nice. Oh my gosh. Pull a card for the chat.
Okay, let's do. Could do the experiencer ones. No, let's do the Martian because these ones are the experiencer ones. And I was talking to Lily about this. The experiencer deck is kind of to help people understand their experiences. So a lot of people are like, well, why did that ET visit me? Or why did I have that sighting at this time? You know what I mean? This helps with clarity for that. But I think the
Ooh.
Mystic Martian Oracle is a little bit more kind of like crowd friendly. So let's pull that one, even though part of the card's going to be see through. Oh, yep, let's get ready.
What
Justin's
is
hanging out with the
quantum
girls
witchcraft?
tonight.
Nah,
You're one of the
Justin,
girls
it's okay.
tonight, Justin.
It's all good.
He's going to leave. He's like, I hate it here. So my question was kind of like a message for the chat specifically tonight. All right, so philosophy, discrimination, and empathy, the air element. And I can tell you right now, the air element is very cerebral. In tarot, the air element is like very like mental challenges that we might have, or how strong you are mentally, or if you have situations happening and you pull like an air card or a sword card, it's kind of like it's all in your head. So a lot of people don't like to get the sword or air element cards, but this one's a little bit different. It's not exactly like tarot, but I automatically go to tarot meetings because that's kind of like what I started doing first. But with the air card, it doesn't really have like an ET species like some of these, because some of these have like, you know, different species. And all it means is like your vision. So air sign. Think about air signs is Aquarius, Libra. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. And Gemini. So if you know about these signs, they are usually pretty like so we've got our Libras. They're very fair. They're very in their head. They'll weigh every option. We have our Aquarius, which is kind of like the humanitarian. They're kind of the weirdos of the zodiac. And then we have our Geminis, which are very vibrant people, very smart people, but they kind of have like they're more apparent with their two sides because they're the, you know, there's two of them, the Gemini. So this card is more about like using the mind and your discrimination and critical thinking, because air element is all about critical thinking. It supposedly kind of speaks like it's the third eye element is what a lot of people say, but that that makes sense because people often think of like clairvoyancy and claircognizance being connected. All your clair is connected with your third eye.
Yes.
So when we, you know, especially clairvoyancy and claircognizance, it's all in your head. So that makes sense that we pull the air element, or it could mean that you guys are just really smart. And of course, you're here. So
We all see beyond the veil.
yeah, I haven't worked with these a lot, so it's kind of fun.
I hope that, guys, hopefully it's not too loud because I want to be able to send it, but not overpower Priscilla's
No, it sounds
voice.
good. It sounds good. So, Savi, this one's for you. Palladians.
Oh my God. Is that really the one that you just
Yeah,
drew?
yeah. Unconditional love, excitement, and laughter.
That is so wild because, oh, all right. So we're going to go on another topic real quick. So we all
Let's
know,
do it.
wow, that's a little loud. We all know Elena Danan and her books. She works with a woman named Julia Belaz. And I was just on Alien Girl 111, aka Amy, if you guys happen to watch her. And I basically utilized a tool that Julia just, I don't know how long ago, but it was very recent. She basically cracked the code and made an astrological birth chart that, like, you can go online and do, birth chart, type in your birthday and you get this chart. Okay. But you can do the same thing and it gives you starseed origins and lineages.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're
Yeah.
talking about. I know who you're talking about.
Yes. She cracked the code. Heck yeah. But when I did mine, and I get so frustrated. Apparently, everybody, and I had to download as soon as I figured this out and looked at my chart. I was told that basically everybody that was able to read me and say, oh, Orion and Arcturian are because they were from your past selves. They're not who you are now. I'm currently Pleiadian and Andromedan, apparently, according to the chart. And what's messed up is that the day before, or like 2 days before I found out about this website, I learned about it from Coral on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
She's super cute too. I was on Instagram and there was just a random reel, and I wish I saved it or liked it, but I didn't. But it was a post of somebody showing a van driving next to them that said Pleiadians in blue letters, and it just went off. And I was like, huh, random. Okay. Didn't think about it. And then a couple of days later, here's this chart that says, oh, Pleiadian. And then it's just like Pleiadian card. And I'm like, dang it. So I'm just here like, what happened in Orion? What happened in Arcturus? What happened with all of us and all of our lineages?
Yeah.
And why was I not supposed to know anything about Pleiadian and Andromedan? But yet, when anybody did a reading on me, such as Lily and Duncan, because I knew about him from you, they
Know me.
both,
So,
yeah, Orion and Arcturian. And it's just
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
maybe it was just the past selves, because like not human life, but I guess soul life.
Okay. Yeah. No, I get it. I totally get it. Soul lineage. So, here's something interesting you might, and this might be part of it. So, in normal astrology or traditional astrology, there's a north and south node. And I want to say like your north node is the one from your past life, and your south node is the one that you're supposed to be incorporating. So, but of course, your most recent past life is going to be easier to fall into those patterns. So something for you to think about is one of your soul origins may have been these other ones that resonate with you more, but your kind of final form is this Pleiadian Andromedan type thing.
Yeah.
And also keep in mind, we've had all these lives in different places, times, as different things. So like in your life, like sometimes you're not ready to receive and be that knowledge yet. you're not ready to integrate it until a certain time. So maybe now it's kind of time for you to start integrating, or maybe that's what you're working towards. Maybe that is like your calling for this life, whereas maybe like the past soul life or soul lineage is, Orion and all that.
Yeah, pretty much that. It's wild. No, don't be.
But yeah, you know what's funny is Duncan told me he told me Arcturian and Syrian, and I just never connected with the Syrians as far as like the star system goes. And I'm like, he's like, you're ignoring your Syrian guides, and I was like, what? So
I wonder
like
if oh, sorry, go ahead.
So it sounds like you might be doing that with your Pleiadian self.
Yeah, I feel bad. And that's why I want to know, who was it that was visiting me on the night of the full moon? But I wonder if you did the website, what your results would be.
I haven't done it, and I know who you're talking about. I should just do it.
Let me paste the link in the...
Let me cough for a second.
You're good. Cough, girl, cough! Let me get this over to you.
All right. Sorry, guys.
In the private chat. It literally takes a second to fill out. Oh. And if you want to put it on the screen, we could all see it, but that's up to you if you want to disclose.
Like, let me see. I'll do. Why don't I do it and then share it after I do it?
Okay.
You can tell them a story.
Tell them a story.
Yeah, tell them a story while I'm doing it.
Once upon a time, in a galaxy far, far away.
You know something funny about my birth chart though? So my mom told me the wrong AM or PM, right? So you're either born in the morning or night, obviously. And she told me that it was always the morning. And I found, I wasn't done. You don't calculate yet. And I found my birth certificate. So I had the wrong chart for so long. And it never made sense. So I was just like, dang, Mom, you don't remember if I was born at daytime or nighttime? We expect all these things from our moms, but I called my son Bangs the other day.
Bangs?
Because he had a really bad haircut and it looked like he had bangs, and I just looked at him and I was like, Bangs.
What's up, Bangs? Just call him that for like the rest of his life.
My husband's like, did you just call him Bangs? I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I did. And that's a story. Dang, Mom. How did you not know?
So yes. I don't know how to like share it if it's online.
Share screen.
Share. Sorry, guys. I sound ridiculous.
Make sure you do the extended Starseed report and check your trine, square, and sextile button too.
I think I did it wrong.
You can just check whatever and then hit generate. You don't have to retype anything.
So what's up? Are you guys saying anything?
Not yet. You have to add it into so share your screen, you add it into the stream, and then that bottom row of those different screen formats, the biggest screen is what the sharing is.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense.
All right, so I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna hop over to...
Heck yeah. There we go.
And it's gone.
Woo.
All right, you guys can you see what I'm doing?
Yes, we can.
All right, you're just going to find out. I mean, I already tell everybody how old I am, so we got February 10th, 1984, guys. Way, way back when. I don't even know if Nintendos were around yet.
Yes, Cindy, I did help you recently. Thank you for letting me. I'm helping Laura next. Oh my God, that's deep. That's what she said. Sorry.
Right. So do I need to calculate? Yeah.
Yes. Calculate. And then you'll copy and paste that into the right-hand side. Because I know it can be very confusing. I wanted to pay for the class that she offers and learn more about it because I think this is a golden ticket right here.
She has a book too, right?
Oh, wait. Go to the, scratch everything above sun because it copied all of that stuff on the left hand side. Yeah, delete all that. So sorry. Oh, what was it you just said?
Okay, now what do I do?
Import natal chart, and then you're going to scroll down. Check the show trine sextile square. We don't need to worry about the degrees, and then hit extended report.
Where are you? Oh, there. Okay, there we go.
So go down. Andromedan, Pleiadian. Oh, they're serious. They're serious.
Where am I looking?
He was talking about. Okay, so the way that this is broken down is like the constellation or star or constellation or star, followed by the type of relationship you had, whether it's sextile, trine, square, conjunct, opposite, etc., and then the lineage. Have like, so you see your Saturn and your, did I say vertex? Oh yeah, those two are the serious sides. And from what Julia was saying, she was saying that when it comes to Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and Venus, and I know it's on the website because I'm trying to remember what these things are, but it's so hard when I'm not looking at it, that those come from past experiences and that there's possibilities that you have incarnated there. And depending whether they are trine or sextile or square, it dictates whether it was a positive influence, positive guides, or if it's like karmic and it's negative. So for example, with Cindy, she had a lot of Orion, and especially I want to say square, because square was like the karmic one. And I was like, ooh, maybe she was in the Orion Wars.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and put it in the chat for you guys so you can do it and do your own.
Yes, it's free. There is a little link at the bottom that's like, oh, you could determine the meanings here, but it's only a certain amount because she offers a class, and I wanted to do that in the future and learn more about it. So I thought,
yeah, I saw her, I think, on Gaia, and I wanted to. So I put the link, guys. Let me know if it's live or if I had to put it in the description somehow.
It's in the comments.
Okay, awesome. But yeah, so that is very cool. I remember seeing her, and I know she did a class, and she has a book too, right?
Probably. I didn't dig too deep into her media. I just learned about her like literally, what was it, like late last week?
Yeah, because I do normal charts, so I think it'd be interesting to learn this on top of it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it takes me a long time to do somebody's chart, but like I'm working on Dan's right now, but
because there's so much to consider, because these houses plus planets and all of these different arrangements that could potentially be there.
Oh yeah. There are certain meteorites, like Chiron pops in, like the North Node, South Node. How many planets are in one?
Yeah.
Where's your Chiron? Where's your Pluto? Like, it's a lot of different things to consider.
What kind of, if you happen to know, if not, that's okay, because I know it can be confusing, but what kind of influence does Chiron have?
So Chiron is like your wound.
Okay.
So if it like falls in like the house of relationships, it's like that's where your wound in life is kind of like where you might have problems with relationships. Or if your Chiron's like in the house of like finances, then you could have problems there or challenges there throughout your life. But that also kind of tells you how to start healing. Like, because so many people are like, they have these blocks, they can't figure it out. But when you find your Chiron, then you'll know like, oh, like my biggest wound is in the house of friendship or career, maybe. You know what I mean? So that's where you need to focus. So when you find out the deepest wound, then you can find out how to heal it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Also, where your Pluto is kind of what you're going to have the most challenge with as far as facing your own shadow. So there's that. And then North and South Node are big because so many people are just falling into their past life because it's comfortable. And that's what I tell people, like, you have at the very minimum, you should know your sun, moon, rising, because people are expecting themselves to be the sun sign. And that's kind of like what you're working towards. You're presenting your moon sign more than anything to yourself, and your rising sign to the world. So the world thinks you're your rising sign, because this is like your ego, your persona, your front that you put up. The stuff you're not so comfortable with, that comes easiest to you, that you're trying to heal, is your moon sign. And then your sun sign's kind of like final form, like you're evolving into this sun sign. So it's important to pay attention to that. And I think the north and south node explains a lot of healing that people need to do. Because if you're living in things that come easier to you, that's your past life stuff. Like, so many people, like, say I was a Cancer in my past life. So Cancer is like the nurturer of the world. They're sensitive. They won't let everybody get to that sensitivity. They're kind of like that tough love kind of person. They want to mother people. They offer emotional healing to people. Well, if I'm trying to like do all this Cancer stuff from a past life, and it turns out in this life I'm an Aquarius, I'm supposed to be an asshole, basically, an unemotional asshole, it's going to be a lot of challenge for me,
Yeah.
and people wonder why they're challenged with growth. It's because they're falling into old habits, not just from this life, but from like other lives that they've lived. And it's just carrying over each time.
I like how you were able to explain the sun, moon, and ascending aspects, because that makes a lot of sense. That you're working towards your sun, usually your moon, but to the world you're ascending.
Yeah, because your moon is like it's kind of like your deeper side. It's your true side. It's the side that it's your shadow side, but it's also kind of like, things that you're struggling with, or things you're trying to heal, or things about you that you're afraid the world won't accept, is like your moon sign. So most people do live in their moon sign more than they do their sun sign. They live in conjunction with, the node from their past life. And I want to say like the node, I want to say south node is the one from the past. Wait. Or is it north node? I'm mixing it up right now. But yeah, like, oh my gosh, now it's gonna bother me. Let's see.
I couldn't say. I don't know the differences between the two just yet.
Let's see.
Is the bowl too loud? I'm sorry, Laura. That's what I'm like. I didn't know. I did drag the mic a bit closer, so let me just push it back.
All right. Okay. So gift. So south node is your past life. Your
South
innate
node is
gift.
past life.
So if your south node is like a Scorpio, and this life, your what would be the opposite of a Scorpio? I'm trying to think. Maybe like a Pisces, maybe. Both watery, but very different. So if you're going to be falling easier into your old Scorpio ways,
Yeah.
when you need to be working into your north node, which is your kind of like your calling, or your dharma is a better way to do it. To think it, your calling is your north node. So you have to take your north node and your south node in consideration, because am I just doing something because it's innate to me, when I know I should be working towards something else? Am I being stubborn out of habit when my truth is to be more easygoing? Or even just like where these things fall in the houses too. Like she says her Chiron, so Laura says her Chiron is in Pisces. So it's in the 12th house. So yeah, so what sign is it, and also what house is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the house is influenced too, and it's like,
yeah. So if your Chiron is in Pisces, you kind of have this wound around being yourself spiritually and openly. It's going to be hard for you to express your spirituality to people, because Pisces is like that. Pisces is the dreamer. Pisces is they're the last sign, guys. Like, that's like, Pisces is supposed to be total package. They've reached enlightenment. So like, right, your wound is going to be centered around spiritual enlightenment, emotional healing. And then depending on what house that is in, Is it in your relationships? Is it in your money house? Is it in career? So there's a lot just with those 5 things alone. You learn so much about yourself. And forget your
Yeah.
Pluto. Like your Pluto is like your shadow work. So don't forget about your Pluto, but forget about it for now because people don't usually do a lot of shadow work around this time of year. It's harder to, people are growing things. They're not trying to go within because it just doesn't go with like the season.
I think that kind of makes sense about Laura because when I first brought her on my channel, she was saying herself how, this is a little bit nerve-wracking or just a little bit, she was a little bit nervous, but the stuff that she had to share was very great and very positive. And Laura, great job when you were on here too. She's working on it. But I did want to say to Justin, because I noticed he was asking, so
It's
sorry.
like, what's going on?
Yeah. So
sorry, Justin.
no worries, dude. I promise. Okay.
We love you.
We're going to answer it right now. So with Julia's information that she provided on the website, at least the free information that you can access to, she unfortunately did not specify the differences between the connections. But for me personally, what I think is that first connection, and this is what I was saying before about how right now I'm supposed to be working towards Pleiadian and Andromedan. But my second connection was Orion, aka like a past form of you energetically, not human like. Energetically, because you can have like what X amount of human cycles within one quote unquote starseed cycle. So I think the further you go, it's like the past forms of yourself energetically. So first is what you're working with now. Second is your past part. And then depending on the information that you decipher with like the planets and what it like the sextile, trine, squared kind of notations, conjunct, opposite dictate what kind of relationships you've carried over, what kind of karmic relationships you've had from the past. So hopefully that answers your question on that. It is a little chilly in here now. Oh my goodness.
So guys, for listing, she said at the bottom there is some meanings that you can interpret.
Yes, there's literally a link, hyperlink. When you go to the bottom of the chart, it's like, oh, find meanings here or something like that. And you can click that and then have both of them open at once. So open it in a new tab. Some have 6 connections. Yes, I go up to 5. Cindy had 6, which I was like, oof. And one of her six connections were with the Galactic Center and Lyrans. And I was like, ooh, Cindy's an old. It was pretty cool. But I wanted to take that class and learn more about it because we have so much more to learn about ourselves, guys. Like, I'm telling you, that download that I had while looking at the chart, that's the first step we're going to be able to take to find out who we were before we came down here was that chart. It was spine chilling.
Yes.
They
because
listen
your
to
astrology, like the astrology chart, it's more for me, it's more recent, it seems like, because it does give you that window to like your most recent, like past life,
my Chiron says my car warranty has expired. I'm trying to read some of the comments. That's funny. What is Ring Nebula? A star, aka angel. Oh wow, this is Vega. Oh, part of the Vegans region. That's Orion. Yeah, Orion, Lyra. Dang, he's got Vegan people in there. Vegans go back to the Lyra constellation before the Draconians kicked in. What is Ring Nebula? A star? I'm not sure about that one.
Nebula is our type of star, right? So
yeah.
I mean, is it on your chart or are you just having interest in it? There's so many different questions.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are asking. I mean, it's
great
because we have to dive into this. What's the sun degree on the starseed chart required? you don't have to enable degrees when you do the whole chart unless you know what degrees line up to where. Like you don't have to enable the degrees if that's what you're asking, Christian. Some people surprisingly didn't have anything in their sun signs. I've done about like 5
Really?
people now. Yeah, I don't think Cindy had a type of connection in her sun sign for her first connection. Unless I just didn't actually. Well, let me see. Which was very interesting because I don't know why.
That's why when I opened mine, I was like, what am I supposed to look at here? There's like all these different things.
Yeah. There's a lot. Yeah, she didn't have anything for her son under any of the connections. So I don't know what that means. And since Pricilla, you were saying that your son is what you're supposed to be working towards, what if Cindy's done and she's going to be in a different form after? I don't know.
That is your sun's sign. That's not the placement of the things, if that makes any sense. So your sun sign is kind of what you're working towards.
Yeah.
In conjunction with your north node.
There's 1/5 and 6 connections. Mostly angel stuff. That's cool. Right, nebulas and so where do I read about things like Orion Wars? Google didn't return much. I did mention a little bit of Orion Wars in my Galactic History video. I wouldn't use Google though. I would use something like DuckDuckGo because when it comes to Google, Yahoo, and Bing, they will only let you see things that they want you to see, not everything that you want to see. Everything is completely controlled. So if you dig deep on DuckDuckGo and you type Orion Wars, you might be able to find some stuff. It was basically like the movie Star Wars. Like there was an empire that rose and wanted to attack and divide everybody. And some of the resistance, aka Jedis or the light beings, wanted to stop the empire from ruling, and they had a big war. I don't know if it's still going on, but I know that supposedly the Orion Wars started a bit before the dinosaurs came onto Earth. The dinosaurs were an experiment because they were trying to have high intelligent reptilian beings, and it completely backfired because they were gigantic and chaotic. So they sent a meteor down to destroy them, supposedly. But the Orion Wars were started like right before the dinosaurs came here.
Do you want to send me the link to your Galactic History video so I can post it in the private?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but
No, you're good.
I'm an asshole. So it just came out of my mouth. I'm so sorry.
Stop it.
Well, because you're trying to tell it, and also, guys, I put a woman's name in the chat too. Debbie Solaris has a very basic, like, kind of timeline for the Galactic History as well. But Savita's video is really good, so I think you guys should just watch that one.
Debbie Solaris was awesome. She was definitely a good resource to use for the video. I combined her website, Gaia's show initiation with Matthias DeStefano.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't say Starseed, but this dude was talking about every lineage.
He left out some stuff, though, that I was curious
did not talk about Lyrans.
Right. But he's just saying what he remembered too, guys. So here's Savi's video on the Galactic History. So make sure you check that out because she talks about all this and she worked very hard on it. It's a great video. And it's hard trying to relate this to people. I was trying to tell somebody about this Galactic History stuff before. And this was like when I first started talking openly about this stuff. And I was trying to explain to them, like, no, like, and there was Lyra, and then this happened. And people were just like, bitch, you're crazy. Like,
basically.
And
but a lot of it makes sense. We're all crazy in a great way.
Absolutely.
A lot of it makes so much sense, though, what all has happened, and especially with some of our memories that we have before coming down here and how we're all connected. Like, we know that there's more to this. We know that we come from these beings. We know that we're hybrids, quote unquote, hybrid souls. So that's what I appreciate about you and your channels, that you always welcome everybody of everything, where we talk about woo, but really cool stuff at the same time.
I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to get all these big UFO names on. Like, yes, I completely am for what's happening with the situation with the government. They need to start being held accountable. But at the same time, I don't trust it completely. But I do want to fight for the transparency because it's going to get people thinking about this that wouldn't
Yes.
normally think about this until their government gives them the thumbs up. So, and then, I just think that more people are coming around to it with seeing all this mainstream stuff. And people always got to be like, well, you don't know. They're controlling the narrative. Like I know. I just don't need it. I don't need to tell everybody every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Because what I'm doing, I'm seeing the big picture. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know they're controlling the narrative. I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't feel the need to prove anything except for the fact that people should open their minds to this possibility.
Yeah.
So some people are going to get reached by the woo stuff. People are going to get reached by awesome natal charts. People are going to get reached by cards. And some people just need to hear it from their government because we're conditioned to be like that in most cases.
Yeah, it's very scary to see that some people, and not to put them down, but it seems like another way to say it, that they can't think for themselves.
Yeah.
And it's very scary because I don't want anybody to have that fear. They need to be able to have that mind to be like, okay, I don't need to have my hand held.
Yeah.
So
I was listening to Sadhguru on the Joe Rogan Experience, and I love Sadhguru. And I posted the clip of this too because it said, we need to work on consciousness. Basically, we are taught by society since the second we're born that we need to conquer the world on the outside without ever being taught to conquer the war in the world on the inside. And we don't need all that exterior stuff.
No, we don't.
But we are a people now where we can't sit still in silence. And that's when you're going to have the most valuable thing. And most of us can't do it. And why? Why do so many people have ADD now? We know because it's like these frames that are flashing and flashing and flashing. The world is just so fast paced.
Yeah.
It's not like we grew up, think about when we had to grow our own food, raise our own animals. Things took time. They took seasons. And now we're like, oh, I want Chick-fil-A. Let me dial and grow up.
Everything's so different and fast paced now.
Amazon. I want this book. What? It's going to take 4 days? Are you kidding me?
I want this bowl. It's going to take 2 months to pay for.
Oh my God. Don't make me laugh. Oh.
Sorry. She muted herself. Poor Pricilla. Still looking like a queen though.
Oh, thank you. I was like, oh my gosh, the bags, guys.
Well, hopefully you get some sleep tonight. I'm here as long as you want to stay on, like I said.
Oh, I'm enjoying it because I've been with babies all day, and I say babies, but they're like 5 and 3. This is like a hangout. This was supposed to be a hangout. You know what I mean? We had our interview. This is a hangout from like a little Starseed night.
Oh,
see.
I was also going to mention to the chat, if you haven't, I think you posted this on your channel too, but it is on mine, where the first video that we did before your Starseed interview, which I advise everybody to check that out too, where we compared our Starseed notes and talked about each of the type of beings, the Starseed lineages.
Yep, that's when I had homework that I did not do.
Pricilla was my first interview, guys.
It was awesome. Yeah, I was supposed to make a whole paper with both of our information, and I never did. I'm sorry.
No,
but I don't think that's what you're focusing on. I automatically get guilty because I'm Catholic. I was raised Catholic, so I'm just like, oh, I remember I was supposed to do this thing and I didn't. We're just hanging out, Akashi. Thanks for coming.
Akashi, Chris, hello. Hey, girl, hey.
We've interviewed each other, so we're just kind of like hanging out tonight.
Yes.
Like if we were in the same city, we'd probably be like by a fire right now with some
seriously.
Whatever. I don't know.
I wish there were more people locally to hang out like this.
I know, and I'm not like a big drinker anymore.
Our body's changed.
Yeah, like everybody's like, oh, Cinco de Mayo, I got tequila, and I'm like, I just want to go lay down. Yeah. I know, Akashi, I sound like the Godfather.
I sound like the Godfather.
I don't care, like if people drink though. I just like my thing is by the time I get kids to bed and I show up at the hangouts around me or the neighbor's house, everybody's drunk already. And I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you because everybody's all drunk.
Not even a
And I'd rather
margarita?
meditate or go to sleep. So I'm just getting old.
Well, you're working hard. You're very busy. It's
I
understandable
mean,
that you're
it's all mom
exhausted.
stuff. It's all
Yeah,
the mom stuff.
exactly, paranormal pixie. Stop it with the guilt.
I know, Laura, I was
Wappa.
raised Catholic, so I'm gonna be guilty no matter what. That's how you can know I could never commit a crime. I'd be like, I did it.
I did it, and I'm so sorry. Ah.
Oh, thanks. I have a husky voice.
Oh,
It sounds like I've
Justin's
been drinking and
funny.
partying, right? Like, like the party girl voice, like that's what it sounds like Tara Reid. Like I've been yelling and partying all night at the club with a cigarette.
You're the cutest godfather. Oh,
Oh, thank you,
Laura.
Laura. That's how I know you guys love me.
Hopefully it's not too loud. That is
No,
insane.
I just need you to like make a video of just that.
For like an hour.
Yeah, dude, I did a 3-minute one on my TikTok with just a solar plexus bowl, and they took it down. Yeah, I did. I did like a morning. It was beautiful. It was a morning. I went outside. The sun was coming over the trees, and they're like, copyright infringement. I'm like, bitch, I just recorded this right now.
How the frick is a
I'm like, I'm
copyright
playing my
infringement?
bowl. Like,
Apparently TikTok takes down everything that has to do with that, unless it's like witchcraft and like the typical
yeah, I could post.
galactic stuff.
Yeah, I could post like how to curse somebody in 19 different ways, but don't give somebody a solar plexus activation.
Or post yourself cursing and doing
Shaking the titties
raunchy
and booties.
stuff. Yeah, but we can't do bowls. Yes, Takashi! I just got it. It just got delivered to me today. And it's beautiful. It's a Lemurian seed platinum bowl with a grandmother base. Whatever all that means.
I don't know.
Lemurian
Sounds
seeds
great.
are. I want to ask Terry how they made it, because
I want to touch it. Look at it.
everybody touch it with your imagination. Touch it. It's so it's
so
like all
pretty.
glass. And my boyfriend's like, don't leave it out because of the cats. I'm like,
Oh my god.
it is staying in this container at
Your
all
cat
times.
Sorry, your cat's
Oh,
gonna be
sorry.
inside of it.
No, yeah.
You know how cats like to get into things? The Catholic guilt is powerful.
No, seriously.
Yeah, I seriously have nightmares about this one priest. He was so mean. She says the Catholic guilt is powerful. Yeah, like, I'm afraid. Honestly, guys, like this might be a past life thing too. I'm afraid to talk to Christian men. I'm not even joking. So it's scary. Like, maybe I've just met a lot of mean church guys. I don't really know.
I would say maybe it is a past life thing that you don't know about yet.
Oh yeah, like I don't.
Lily's talked about that she knows that she used to be a witch.
Yeah. I've had some stuff like that. Not necessarily like a witch, but almost like an herbalist. I had when I did a past life regression, and it was like I was kind of like the town, like I guess kind of like a witch, but I don't think it was a witch back then because you were using herbs from the earth for medicine. So I would say herbalist or wise woman. You know what I mean? Yeah. And in that past life, I ended up, long story short, dying because of that. But now I'm afraid, like we in one of my classes in one of my classes in college, I had to take. They talked about the Spanish Inquisition, and yeah, it was like the guy's reading, like it's reading these things to look for in a witch, and I started getting like sick, and I wanted to cry. So it's not so much religious talk. It's just kind of it just kind of came up, Christian. We're not going to be preaching.
No.
We're just kind of saying because actually I was acting guilty, I guess, or I said I was being guilty, and it's because of Catholic school. But I also said I'm afraid of men that go to church. So
yeah, or any cherry pickers. Period. For any religion, it's the people though. It's not the religion itself. Religion can be very, very beautiful.
Yes. Yeah, and it's see, midwives were herbal healers. Yep. Yeah, and there's this book called Birth, and this is, kind of going out there, but it's about how birthing turned into an industry when men took over as obstetricians. So, or an obstetrician, as you know, gynecologists. So, um, but yes. Oh, Justin's leaving us. He's had enough.
Justin, did we scare you? No, come back. And
No, no, we'll
I
get
will
back to
store
the
it on the
alien stuff
floor.
next time.
I
We're just hanging
might
out.
even just leave it in here. Yeah, we are.
Thanks
We're
for
just
hanging out.
Have a good night, those sweet dreams. Oh, I almost knocked the desk over.
Yeah, don't break it. Yeah. Yep. There's a lot. But yeah, a lot of people have past lives with that. So I did have like a kind of crazy past life, and I just I that's just how it's been, you know. Ever since I felt like, especially like religious men are going to judge me, and in most cases they're not, honestly. But I'm like, I automatically kind of like expect it.
Yeah. Sometimes they can be very judgmental. Have a good night, Justin.
Thanks for coming, Justin.
Thank you.
Oh, it's Friday.
I
Some people do things.
know. Like, I don't even go out anymore.
No, my husband's probably, I don't even know where he is. He should be putting the kids to bed. I don't hear them running right now, so he might have taken them to bed.
Give you a break.
All right, guys. Well, I think that my cough medicine is starting to wear off, so that's fun. Tonight was just a hangout. Thank you to everybody in the chat for coming. I really just wanted an excuse to hang out with Savita and talk about fun Starseed stuff because I don't get that a lot. So, yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
And Savita, what are you doing next?
Tonight or like next?
Like with your channel, do you have anything coming up or appearances?
Yes. Well, actually, tomorrow there will be a live session at noon EST. There is another TikTok Starseed I found. Lara, I believe, is the one who sent me his video. He posts a lot of very helpful, informative stuff. His information's in the description on the channel already because it is going to be like pre-made, I'm pretty sure. His name is Tame, but his handle is Sacronaut, and he's pretty cool. And I will share this short story about him that I thought was wild. He has a daughter. He was a young father, but that's okay. It sounds like he's an amazing father at that. But he was told from the mother that she had a dream that her daughter was coming soon and her name was Andromeda. Fast forward, she's born. They name her Andromeda. And she apparently has some memories and is already like seeing things and in a spiritual uprising in a sense.
Wow. You'll have to send me his link.
Sorry?
You'll have to send me his page information.
Yeah, I can literally look him up real quick. But I wanted him to go into detail tomorrow about his daughter's story because he already sent it to me, but I didn't want to spoil it too much. But his I was just mind blown because I've never heard of a story like that where basically someone's child follows them energetically. And he was told, I sent you a link right there in the private chat in case anybody wants to check him out. But somebody that has had a child that has followed them through different lifetimes. He told me that he had like a download, I'm pretty sure a download, that he knows that they've been together before, like him and the daughter, like they've worked together before. And as soon as he told me that, I'm like, I felt that way with my dad too. Because like, you know, you go through life and you meet people and you're like, I know this person, I've met them before. It's because you've met them somewhere else.
Oh yeah.
Now, whether the relationship's the same, who knows? Whether you're enemies then or you're great now, who freaking knows? Whether you are partners or they're still father and son, father, daughter, whatever, who knows? But I thought that was wild. So that's the guest for Saturday. And then the week after that, hopefully, as long as schedules are okay, we're bringing Mike Bodowitz back to talk about his Sasquatch stuff. And then the week after that, I don't think I have someone scheduled just yet, unless I do. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about, okay, Angel Wings. She's on the last week of May. So we do have 3 guests coming. And the next video This one is kind of hard for me to do because I don't want people to think I'm a complete basket case if I were to post it. But I've been talking to some people about the whole red versus blue dilemma and the stuff that arised from it and what I've learned and the preconditioning messages behind it. So it was like a top secret message in a sense. But I really, really want to get this one up. But I'm just worried that like it's going to be
Yeah.
too far-fetched or too woo for people. Like, this girl lost her damn mind. Really? This is what it's turned to? So I'm like, I don't know if I should do that. Or a video on Dorothy Izat, because not a lot of people know
Oh,
about her.
yeah. Yeah, she's amazing. I
She
think
is.
that I had seen some of her stuff, and then your dad started posting about her a while ago, and then you started posting about her, and I was like, "Oh my goodness." Then I watched the documentary, and I
Yes.
was like, "Oh my goodness, like, she's
In the
legit."
book. I recommend
How
the
do
book.
I want it. It's on my list, but I'm I started packing up my books because we're getting ready to move, and sell the house and all this stuff, so, I thought that all my books were gonna fit in one box, and they don't. And I'm afraid to show my husband. So I told him already, but he's like he just kinda teases me. He's like, "You have a problem, haha."
No, I
He's
don't.
probably
I
thinking
just like
like, "Shit,
learning.
I'm gonna have to carry that box." It's super heavy.
Books
But
are
yes, yes, that's awesome. I'm excited to see all your guests coming.
Thank you.
Tomorrow, guys, is UAP Book Club at 1 PM Eastern. We have our usual panel people. We'll be talking about Timothy Good's book, tomorrow, and yeah, that's and then tomorrow night, I have Dockside Media that you had on.
Yes, I
So
saw. Have fun.
yeah, I wanted to get them on sooner, but I just tomorrow night was like the best for both of us. So they'll be on to talk about that. And that is it. I don't have anybody coming up during the week. And I might keep it that way depending on how things go
Because
for
you
my
need to
voice.
rest. You need to rest.
Yeah.
Seriously. We can't afford to lose Priscilla. You were gonna ask me a question though, I think.
Was I?
You said how something.
It's left me. I'll probably remember like at 2 a.m. and message you.
It was when I mentioned Dorothy Izat.
I don't remember. Oh my gosh, I don't remember.
Shit. Okay.
I'm crazy. If I remember, I'll message you. It'll probably come to me.
Okay. Yeah, please ask me. I wanted to do a video about her because you literally YouTube Dorothy Izat and you get one clip of unsolved mysteries, and it's not
She's so
anywhere as good as
amazing.
the documentary. Yeah. And
Yeah.
there's a book about her, Purple Book, Amazon, super cheap, short, easy read, and it has so much amazing information. J. Allen Hynek was involved with her case. And I think there's someone on Twitter who is trying to basically bring back Dorothy Izat's story and get more documentaries and stuff out there because this individual worked with Dorothy in the past, helped push the first book and documentary, the one that you saw, and they want to do a round two, but are dealing with some controversies and personal life stuff. So that's
Yeah,
going to
it's
be
horrible.
exciting. The
Yeah, for
Dorothy
sure.
Izat Project on Twitter, guys.
Oh,
She
yeah, I'm
is
definitely gonna have to
awesome.
find that. All right,
Yes.
guys, hang out for a minute after Savi. Thank you so
Sure.
much for coming, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the book club if you're around.
I'll play
All
a
right,
little
have a good one.
outro. A little outro.
Give one last ding.
Might be loud, sorry.